Okay, people. So I checked out a new film, right? I wasn't quite sure if I'd already watched this, but I think you know, what I mean, there was a potential situation a year or so ago, but yeah, I don't think it happened. Well, not with Steven anyway, right? Maybe I talked to Schuman, I don't know, but yeah, I checked out Beyond Existence, which is this new indie sci-fi film. And yeah, well, let me get to that, right? So it is directed by Schuman Hoque, um, and co-written by Steven Farah and Christopher Butler. So Farah produced it with, I think it's his wife, Claire Farah, right? It was executive produced by Schumann and co-produced with Erica Falezetti. The music is from Edward Farmer. Cinematography is Tim Knight. It was edited by Hoke, Reese Hall, and Russin Stainton. Casting was Claire Farah. Production design is Nia Fawcett. Art direction is Edwina Smith. Costume design was Cristiano Casamino. And the makeup is Emma Gandolfo. Production management was Geraldine Cabanero. Yeah, and our cast. Well, we have got the Professor, played by Gary MacKay. Ellen is played by Amelia Clay. And the Guardian is Vincent Vermignon. There's also Stephen Farah plays the barman. The waitress is played by Pauline Turner. Scrapyard owner is John McKenna. And the security guard is Banshad Abdidi Amin. All right. And so the gist of the story is this: Ellen, a government agent, follows orders to seek and destroy a professor who's been trading government information to foreign territories. However, in a twist of fate, the professor's life is spared, and the unlikely couple find themselves on a road trip through barren landscapes of England. So, yeah, there it is. And yeah, so with this one, I did that thing which I try not to do, right? And that was when I watched it the first time, I was just kind of distracted. There's so much happening, and I'm trying to juggle. And I just thought, oh, like, I can do this and this at the same time, right? And yeah, and I'm listening to it and, just trying to watch it. And I'm kind of thinking, like, it wasn't coalescing with me, But there's things I was hearing and be like, oh, that's interesting. That's really interesting. That's interesting, man. So I was just like, yeah, what am I doing? So I watched it again. And man, I'm glad I did. Because, yeah, there's more to the film than, you're going to get if you're not really concentrating. Right? Because we like to say it's a Mully, a Mulder and Scully situation isn't quite right. But we do have, Ellen being this government operative, and she is a bit like, oh, no, this is how the world is. You know what I mean? Like, I had no knowledge of this stuff. So, no, this is my orders. This is what I'm doing. She's very straight-laced in that respect. And the professor, Well, I mean, there's a lot we learn about the professor, but it comes off at first that he's just this bitter drunk. But then we learn there's more to that, right? And yeah, I don't think if you're not concentrating, you're not going to pick up on those nuances, you know? Like, it's a sci-fi film, and we open up, right? We open up looking at like the sea, the ocean, just this big expanse of water, right? There's looks like there's oil platforms and stuff like there, but it's pretty open. And then suddenly, right, we have this kind of thing kind of like coming out, like this framework coming out of the water. And then like just appearing out of nowhere is this big kind of pyramid kind of structure, right? And that's where we see the Guardian just kind of appears, and it's like this transport device. And I think that's one of the big sci-fi things, right? Like some of the other things, like we have the Henkai and the Sensi, the Senai, right? The Henkai and the Senai, right? These two devices. But other than those things, now there's some like there's these effects and things like that, but they're the core kind of sci-fi elements. Because essentially, this is a road movie, right? It is like a road movie, a kind of a buddy cop thing. Not quite, but you know, kind of, right? And so the film, it doesn't necessarily sit on the sci-fi, right? That's not the selling point as such. The selling point really is this connection between Ellen and the professor, right? It was, as I said, look, she's sent to kill him, but then she doesn't, right? So why didn't she kill him, right? What's the reason here? And so this is what we learn, right, throughout. And we get these introspective conversations, right, looking at what does it mean to be human? You know what I mean? Like, what does that mean? You know, what does life mean? Right? What's love? What's caring? What's it? And that's what this trip is. They're going and they're doing these things. They're stopping off at these places to make certain actions. And throughout, we're getting this look and this understanding on relationships and the things that make up who we are. Because, you know, the professor is learning, right? He's been learning, should I say. And so that's, I think, the real interesting thing here, because they're both very different, but as things go on, you get them both kind of coming around to see things from each other's perspectives, having that empathy, which isn't there at the start, but yeah, it grows, and we can see it growing, right? We can understand how these two different entities can come and meet in this place. And that's what I thought the strongest part of this film is, right? Being this indie flick, right? We got special effects and we got all of this, and they're not bad, but this isn't your Avengers, right? This isn't, you know what I mean, a Hollywood flick. So, you know, some things don't necessarily jump out at you, right? But the story is more than those elements, right? You know, being a driving film, there's not necessarily a whole lot of different landscapes and things to look at. Now we do see them driving through these different places, so we get like certain vistas and things like that, which is nice. But yeah, this is more about their connection and seeing how that comes about. And then it's just like, what are you prepared to do? You know, there is this interesting little twist in there about you know, playing on that alien trope, right? That was interesting. That was a nice little touch. You know, there's certain things that are a bit like the name of the alien race. You know what I mean? And be like, I mean, we could have come up with something else, but that doesn't matter, right? Like, that's just a thing. You know what I mean? That's just like, whatever, right? But yeah, the strength of the film is this look, right? It's the magnifying glass in which they have utilized, right, to analyze human nature, you know? And we really get that at the end. Like the end, yeah, the end then, like, it's just like, yo, okay, that's what you have, that's what you did, that's where you went. Okay, all right, huh? This is compelling, right? So, yeah, Beyond Existence, it's more than you think it's going to be. It goes beyond your initial assumption. You know what I mean? So, hey, I think it definitely shows promise, right? So it's gonna be, what can these guys do with a budget? You know what I mean? That's the thing which I'm now very interested to see. So it's currently on the festival circuit, and I believe it's going to be hitting Miami on the 19th, right? 19th of March, Miami. So people, if you're there, go check it, right? Go check it, because I think you're going to be surprised. All right. So yeah, if you like your indie sci-fi, hey, Beyond Existence may very well be for you.